The discontent involves teachers being transferred, numerous attempts to transfer them from the school despite performing. Teachers at times are threatened by the assistant local manager, Mrs. Clark Jacobs, about transfer if they go against policies that she enacts at the school. We have had situations where Mrs. Jacobs overrides the principal and administers policies of her own or expectations of her own at the very school. And the two vice principals, in the persons of Ms. Afane Avila and Mrs. Sharon Lucas, tend to do as they please instead of following what was discussed with the administrative principal. We have had situations where teachers have been transferred from our school with no grounds or real grounds to be transferred, two of which have been returned to the school, and the very management have to pay or compensate their allowances and transfer grants. So we are in a troubled time during this pandemic. Myself personally, Mr. Martinez, this is the second time in less than 3 years that I'm being initiated to transfer. And I have my reasons drafted out in a letter why a transfer would not be good for me. So today we take a stance of going slow, where we will simply not hand out packages, and we will let the community, the country, the world know that we are discontent. And so we decided to take this step of inviting the media and appealing to the Commission, to the General Manager's Office, to the BNTU and the Ministry of Education to please come to St. Peter Claver to help us resolve this issue. If you look at my transfer letter that they're initiating, this was January 5th. School started January 11th. Why would you want to get rid of a teacher that scores distinguished or proficient on his appraisal yearly? I was part of the team that brought the best scores Toledo has ever seen in the persons of the Sopal boys and Ms. Jasmine Faber. Why would you get rid of a teacher with that capability from your school?
The financial report of the kitchen is not being presented to the staff nor to the local manager. But according to what we heard, to the vice principal that's in charge of the kitchen, she said that she is sending a report to the local manager. When it came back to us and the staff, it is not being reported, none at all. What happened to the donations? Because we have some business community that are donating to the kitchen. So when we have orientation as a staff, the kitchen collects an amount of money from the school, which is not being done properly. We want to see transparency. We want to see accountability that need to happen at the school level. So that's why that's one of the points that is addressed in a 2-page letter that we sent in October to the local manager, to the general manager, to BNTU and other stakeholders that we sent to, and nobody is looking at addressing the issue properly.
The transfer is something that really took something to me, and it's very personal, because back in 2018, 2019, I too was slated for transfer. I was asked to be transferred by my management, something that I declined. After declining, a few days later, she sent me a letter stating that I will be deployed due to downsizing of the school. However, I didn't see any downsizing happening that year. Instead, teachers were replaced, that was said. The way I felt about it, my personal opinion about it, after looking at everybody who was transferred, I felt that it was racial profiling. Why? Because that time, people of my color skin, only people of my color skin was transferred. And for me, that is so wrong. I believe, and up to this date, I'm not compensated my transfer grant. I'm still waiting for that transfer grant. My allowances, I had to follow through with my allowances. I had to be pushing and running around looking for everybody to help me to figure out how do I secure my allowances. That was paid in, but my transfer grant was never paid to me. After this investigating why I was about this transfer, I found out that my transfer was legal. The commission told me that I can only be transferred if I receive a letter from them stating that their transfer is accepted. And that year I didn't. And so hence the reason I was brought back again to St. Peter Claver.
We are here this morning to express our discontent with our injustices with the way the assistant local manager constantly interfere into the school business, thus overriding the principal authority. We are also standing out here this morning against the mismanagement of school funds.
There are many teachers who are not pleased with the situation, as well as the principal of our school is not happy with the situation that is occurring at our school. Today, as you can see, the teachers, they are outside. They are trying to get to the various authorities in education, namely the General Manager of Catholic Public Schools, the Belize Teachers Union, and also the Teaching Services Commission, so that this situation at our school can be remedied.
We also spoke to Assistant Local Manager Claret Jacobs about the allegations, and this was what she had to say.
There are several allegations being made, but I want to say that whatever I do for St. Peter Claver schools or any of my 29 other schools come directly from our Handbook of Policy and Procedure. And so I want to quote one where it says, equity for everyone involved, all stakeholders in education. And so that is what I want to do. Now with this and the 15 disgruntled teachers or those who have their discontent, it is one that is being addressed. Their concerns are being addressed, and our general manager, my local manager, Father Matt, personnel from the Ministry of Education, and myself, along with the 3 administrators from St. Peter Claver Schools, are actively involved in ensuring that whatever discontent they have will be resolved.
On that note, on resolution for this issue, is there a timeline?
Well, we will start, or we have already started with the dialogue. Tomorrow, our administrators of St. Peter Claver School, along with our general manager, a personnel from Ministry of Education, and myself will be sitting at a table to review whatever discontent the teachers who have claimed so will address, and that is what we will be doing. Timeline, there are timelines. I met with the administrative principal of St. Peter Claver School, and we agreed that she is to bring in today a priority list of timeline and deadlines of things that needs to be accomplished to move St. Peter Claver School forward. I want to state here categorically that whatever discontent is will be resolved for the greater benefit of the students, parents, and even staff of St. Peter Claver School.